You're watching this video, so the chances are great that you enjoy what we create here at the Audrain. And if you do, why not take the next step and subscribe to this channel? You might also consider a membership in the Audrain Automobile Museum. We mount 4 new exhibitions each year featuring cars from the Audrain collections and loans from some of the leading collectors and institutions around the world. Click here to find out more.
Ooh, look at that airline. We got the play. Look at it. That's what we're flying. It's the YouTube play button airlines.
So we've made it to Logan.
We've made it to Logan somehow.
And we're dumb. We're going to the same place, but we booked the wrong flight.
Well, we're not dumb. I wasn't originally coming, so it was more last second. But great news is we're both flying A380s, biggest planes that currently
We're going to race them on the way there.
We're going to race. I'm going to win. It's going to be great. I got a window seat on the upper deck, so we're going to have some good viewing. But Antonio and I are headed to Switzerland, round 2.
Lugano Concours.
A much newer car as opposed to a 1922. We now have a 1927.
1927 Isotta.
Isotta Fraschini. How do you say it in your native tongue?
It would be Isotta Fraschini.
I'm going to say Isotta Fraschini, which is being shown at the Lake Lugano Concours this weekend. And then the following week it's going to the
Villa d'Este Concours. I looked at the weather and it said it's going to rain the entire time, so we'll see how it goes.
Still better than snow.
It's better than snow, for sure.
You'll follow us on our journey, and it's going to be a good one.
We'll see you there.
Sean and I made our way to Milan via our racing A380s and met up in the rental car garage. Following a short drive, we arrived in Lugano, Switzerland. Lugano resides in the Italian-speaking region of southern Switzerland and borders Lake Lugano, hence the name. The town boasts history dating all the way back to prehistoric times and has evolved into a tourism and banking hub. But most importantly, it's home to the Lugano Concours. A week before leaving, we had our 1927 Isotta Fraschini 8AS shipped from Newport, Rhode Island. Our first mission upon arrival was to meet the truck driver downtown. After a quick collection and mechanical checkup, we jumped in and brought it to the hotel. The Lugano Concours is quite a unique event because it takes place in the Piazza della Riforma and surrounding squares. It's also completely free to the public. It was so amazing to see how many people were excited to see the Isotta.
This kicks off an exciting 2 weeks for us here at the Audrain, as well as our 1927 Isotta Fraschini 8AS. So today we're participating in the Lugano Concours, and next week we're going to be at Villa d'Este, just about a half hour down the road in Italy on Lake Como. We thought it was going to be the perfect car. It's the debut for us showing this car in any shows since we acquired it a few years ago. Some of you may recall that this car won the inaugural Audrain Concours in 2019. And since then we've acquired it, and we're very excited to show it to people all across the world. A little history on the car. This is the car that was designed and commissioned by the famous silent film actor Rudolph Valentino. And unfortunately, he passed away just a few months before this car was completed. It was debuted in New York in November of 1926 at the New York Auto Show. and the allure around the car being that this was Rudolph Valentino's unfinished car. So this has a lot of great history with it. We have the ownership all the way from the beginning, and it has, in previous ownership, it has traveled very well, shown very well, won numerous shows, like I said, Audrain as well. So we're very excited. It's a beautiful day. I think we're going to show the car well, and we'll see what happens.
After our car was judged, we got in line for a parade in the middle of the square. Unlike some more traditional concours where judges place a ribbon on the car to let you know that you've won an award, at Lugano, you don't know until you've crossed the stage.
Best in class. Thank you very much. Thank you. Congratulations, guys. Best in class. So you're eligible for Best of Show. It does deserve a round of applause.
To our excitement, we were awarded Best in Class. When we returned to the hotel with the Isotta, people were lining the streets, just like our last Swiss adventure, although it was much warmer this time.
You just piloted it across the ramp?
Oh, I didn't even see.
Go that way.
We were filming, yeah. Yeah, so we won Best in Class, which gives us the ability and qualifies us to win Best in Show.
We're also multitasking here.
Trying to figure out where we're going.
We've got to figure out where we're going.
Not the easiest part of driving
on these narrow streets in Switzerland.
After making our way through the crowd, we quickly got ready for the black tie event where we found out who won Best of Show. Full from a wonderful dinner and great conversation, with a fair deal of anticipation along the way, we were ecstatic when we were announced the winners of Best of Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Best of Show today at Lugano Elegant is the 1927 Isotta Fraschini Tipo 8AS Roadster by Fleetwood from Sharing.
This was incredibly special to our chairman, Mr. Schorsch, who fell in love with the Isotta the minute he saw it years ago.
I just wanted to say quickly that the enthusiasm and the community that is being built here in Lugano is truly extraordinary, and encourage the young people. I mean, there's enough of us white haired people in this hobby or now industry, and the more and more we can get the younger generations loving these cars and the sounds and the work it takes to keep them all going. It is a passion project, and it's a passion we hope to share for decades and decades to come. So thank you, Lugano. Thank you all for your hard work. And it's wonderful that this event is free of charge to the public. So thank you.
Well done, congratulations for the win.
The next day, the Concours participants arrived at the hotel for a closing lunch, accompanied by a fantastic display of our cars.
We have arrived for lunch on day 2 of this fabulous Concorso d'Eleganza Lugano. And yesterday I was part of the judging team judging the Greba class, which was made up of this car here, which actually won the class. It's a Alfa Romeo 6C 2300 owned by Matthias Metz, and it was a fabulous car to see. I had seen it before at Pebble Beach, and it was awarded there as well, but this won its class in the Greba class. It's a perfect restoration. I think we made it a 100-point car, and we just drove 55 kilometers on the tour here to lunch across beautiful countryside and the most wonderful mountain passes, zigzags backwards and forwards, up and down, really hard going, really hard work, but the car performed perfectly, and we had the most spectacular drive, spectacular scenery, amongst some fabulous cars. And it's been a great weekend so far, and of course we're very proud that the Isotta Fraschini won its class and then went on to win Best of Show, and it's a great privilege to be part of the team here with that. And so we're all very happy. The weather is looking beautiful. Great to be in Switzerland, and we're looking forward now to moving on to Italy and the Concorso d'Eleganza Villa d'Este.
The next day didn't turn out as glamorous. We were planning on meeting the truck driver downtown, but he was stuck in Italy. Due to a Swiss banking holiday, commercial trucks were unable to cross over the Swiss border. But the next day, the border opened, and we were able to get the car to the truck. Once the Isotta was secured and on its way, Sean dropped me off at Villa d'Este and said his goodbyes. Unfortunately, he wouldn't be able to join us for the second leg of the trip. Arrivederci, Sean. And I welcomed my colleague Ben Mercer, who doesn't like to be on camera. Despite being born in Italy, this was my first time in Lake Como, and it's just as beautiful as people say. Every alleyway, nook, and cranny is picturesque. The Villa d'Este Concours is held at the historic Villa d'Este Hotel in Cernobbio, a northwestern town close to the city of Como. Villa d'Este has history dating back to the 1500s when architect Pellegrino Pellegrini built the villa for the Cardinal of Como. It remained in the Cardinal's family for 2 centuries and eventually became the home of the Princess of Wales. In 1873, it was converted into a luxury hotel, which has been one of the world's leading hotels ever since. The Concorso d'Eleganza has history dating back to 1929 and is one of the most prestigious concours in the world. Today, BMW Classic hosts the event, and we are very excited for the opportunity to show off our car, just like we did last year with our 1964 ATS GTS. Just like in Lugano, people were amazed by the Isotta's road presence and beauty. After the initial inspection and check-in, Ben and I detailed the car for Saturday's show. Friday night saw an opening party at the hotel where BMW unveiled a series of 4- and 2-wheeled machines. The first of which was their new Le Mans Racer, which is also an art car. The other 2 reveals were concepts, the Skytop and the R20, which I would 100% ride. The Concours morning was slightly overcast, so our detailing work was put to shame, but we were still ecstatic to be there.
Hello, I'm standing here in such a special place in Italy at Villa d'Este for the Concours, and I am standing with a wonderful friend of mine, Caroline Cassini, who I think grew up with this car. You know this car ever so well, the Isotta Fraschini 8AS Fleetwood Roadster, that your father, I think, adored, and we adored your father, we adore you. But it is so lovely to see you here with the car.
Yes, you too. I mean, I'm so excited to see it here. My dad owned this car for, I believe, almost
20 years.
Yeah, it was one of the longest cars that he owned. And his dream was to bring it back here to Lake Como, to Villa d'Este, and bring it back home to Milan.
Yeah. So yes, exactly. Well, we're showing it in his honor because he was such a special friend to the Audrain, and we're so privileged to own it, and we are so enjoying showing it.
Lovely.
I don't know, we won Best of Show at Lugano last weekend, which was fantastic.
I was so excited to see that.
It was super.
It's just lovely to see it here, and it's honestly what my dad would have dreamed of. I know that's what he would have just loved seeing it here. We talked about it for so many years. He talked about coming to Villa d'Este, of course, for many years, but this was the car that he wanted to bring. And this was the car that if he ever came, and now it's here.
Well, it ticks all the boxes because, you know, Isotta Fraschini was the Rolls Royce of Italy, really, but to have the Italian chassis, the Italian mark, but bodied in America, bodied by Fleetwood. It's that whole sort of transatlantic thing. It's so good. And to bring it back, I think everybody here has loved seeing it. And so it's really appreciated. It's just fabulous. And you know, it is such a stylish car in such a stylish location.
My dad he was all about style and beauty. He loved the mechanics of it all, but it definitely came when it came to coach building and the importance in provenance. And I think one thing, you know, this car was owned by Rudolph Valentino, or ordered by him. Unfortunately, he passed before he was able to take delivery of it. But that was an important part of this story. And now it's back in Italy, and it's really exciting to see it.
Well, it's going to be in Europe for a few weeks, a few months, because we're going to show it here. We're going to show it in Geneva at Coppe. And then it's going to England for Salon Privé.
Oh, wonderful.
So it's doing the European tour.
Great.
So I hope that he is looking down on us and smiling.
Absolutely.
I really do. Because we miss him.
Oh, me too. Yes, I think we all miss him, but it's really important about who owns these cars in the future. And
100%.
He was so excited to have this and a couple of other of his cars in the Audrain.
Yeah.
So it's great to see it go to great custodians.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for taking care of it.
Super to see you.
It's great to see you.
Right.
Thank you.
Josh Sweeney, a local New Englander like ourselves, was able to capture some nice moments of us before the car was judged. After the judging, all the cars participate in a parade where they drive up past the back courtyard of the hotel, where Simon Kidston gives a detailed presentation of every car.
Fewer than 50 times. On her third wedding night, she locked herself in the bathroom of the hotel and refused to come out until her husband wrote her a check for $500,000. This, by the way, is in the 1920s. Which probably paid for quite a few Isotta Fraschinis. Today it leads, I dare say, a mildly quieter life, but it's probably in rather better condition. Thank you so much for bringing this car all the way from the States. I have to say, it looks eminently at home on the mosaic of the Villa d'Este Hotel. So thank you to the Schorsch family for bringing Rudolph Valentino's Isotta Fraschini Tipo 8 AES all the way here to share it with us today. Grazie.
Grazie.
Besides the winners of People's Choice, participants don't find out if they've won a class award until the next day, a public event at the neighboring Villa Erba. Sunday morning, we got up early and drove the car over to Villa Erba. This is a super cool event because it has a very small entry fee and attracts thousands of guests from all over. It was wonderful to connect with so many locals who are passionate about our car.
Hi, I'm Lee Hauer. I'm an Audrain Motorsport member, and I'm here in Italy on the shores of Lake Como with my 1968 Pininfarina Fiat Dino Berlinetta Aerodinamico. This is actually a concept car. It was built by Pininfarina, and they actually first showed it at the Paris Auto Show in 1967 with a slightly different design, and then they redid some of the elements of the design and showed it at the Geneva Auto Show in 1968. And this car has never been restored, so it's exactly as it was at the Geneva Auto Show more than 50 years ago. And it's a real privilege to be here and enjoy all of these great cars here at Villa d'Este. We had the Concorso de Villa d'Este yesterday at the hotel, and today we are here at Villa Erba. And it was a great honor. Yesterday the car was honored with an award, which was the ASI Preservation Prize for Best Post-War Preserved Car. The ASI is the Italian Automotive Heritage Organization, and so it's a real honor to have this Italian car here in Italy and be honored by ASI that way. So it's great to be here. It's great to see also Audrain's car here and so many other beautiful cars here in Italy.
Towards the end of the afternoon, all the cars gather for a small parade where Simon Kidston once again gives a detailed presentation of each car in English and in Italian.
È una donna che amava molto gli uomini e i gioielli. Scappò da casa all'età di 15 anni.
Once up on stage, participants see how they placed in their class. Although we were disappointed that we didn't get an award, we couldn't have been happier for Anne Brockington Lee and her beautiful Bentley. Later that night, we suited up for a black tie dinner at Villa d'Este, where we would find out the best of show winner. All the class winners make their way to the back of Villa d'Este, where they are on display for the crowd to enjoy.
So it's the end of probably one of the best weekends I've ever spent, certainly in Italy, in one of the most beautiful locations in the world, at Villa d'Este 2024, and it's the culmination of the Villa d'Este Concours d'Elegance. We have had 2 days of spectacular cars and fabulous people and a lot of interest. We've had so many great compliments about our superb Isotta Fraschini. We were so proud to bring it here, which is back to within 30 miles of where its chassis and engine were born in Milan. And it's always great to come back and bring things home. The Italians have loved seeing it here, and of course with the transatlantic theme of the American body in Fleetwood in Pennsylvania and Milan engineering. It's that crossover, crossing the Atlantic. We have crossed the Atlantic to be here this weekend. And amongst such great people and amongst such great cars, it's always a privilege. Well, today the class awards were announced, and it was an honor, a true honor, to see the class award given to a most wonderful blower Bentley built by Gurney Nutting and owned by the one and the only Anne Brockington Lee and the Lee Collection in Reno, Nevada. A very, very worthy winner. But that is just one of a few of the class winners who we're going to see this evening. And all of those cars are going to come down and be parked along the water, and it'll be the first chance to see all of the class winners together. And talking to a lot of the entrants and a lot of the people here, the field is wide open. This award of Best of Show 2024 could go to anybody.
The winner of the first prize, Best of Show 2024, is the 1932 Alfa Romeo 8C 2.3 liter.
So it's 11:15 at night. The announcement of the Best of Show at the Concorso d'Eleganza 2024 at Villa d'Este has been made, and it went to a surprise to some, but maybe not to all, to the Alfa Romeo 8C that was in the same family for 78 years. The most incredible preservation, whatever you want to call it, but original condition Alfa Romeo. First time ever, I believe, as a major winner of a concours in all this time. So, but what is very interesting is that we are moving forward. The McLaren really is a sign of the times that maybe things are changing, maybe things are moving a little bit towards the more modern era and the supercar generation. It's great to see these cars winning here at Villa d'Este as well as the more traditional Ferraris, a very, very famous Mille Miglia ex-Wolfgang von Tripp's Ferrari, side by side. That's what brings us all together. And so you have maybe the past and maybe the future of Villa d'Este. It's been a great year, it's been a great evening, and congratulations to the Alfa Romeo. Good night.
It was a pleasure bringing our Isotta to these events, furthering our mission of preserving, celebrating, and sharing automotive history across the world. Congratulations to the winner of Best of Show. It's well deserved. And thank you to all those who came on this journey with us. We are so looking forward to bringing you along for our next adventure.